Hey guys, this is Hetu and welcome back to etlqalabs. So guys, I promised last week that we will resume our session today. So I'm here and we will cover today one of the very important interview question. Yeah. So, but guys, before that, I'm not very well. I'm down with viral effect. Right, so but then I thought that this is important to continue the sessions because there are a lot of questions which are piled up now. So I thought of clearing one by one, right? So I'm taking now I started taking up the questions from the comment section, right? And we'll see that how many we can cover. And guys, please note one thing: don't feel bad if I can't cover all of your questions because I'm I'm only covering those questions which I feel that they are having the wider impact or need to know questions for everybody, right? So those kind of questions I'm going to cover, right? So please don't be don't feel bad if I cannot cover each of yours question, right? Due to the time limitation and other bandwidth challenge, right? But then obviously I think the important one I will definitely try to cover. Okay, so let's see that what we are here for today. Today's session we are talking about. We will talk about the important interview questions. I think most of you will agree that if you have attended, at least couple of interviews on ETL testing, I would say it's not for very freshers kind of job interview, but then I would say if you are having 3 to 4 or 5 to 6 years of experience in those range, basically this question is mostly applicable. Okay, but sometime they want to check also that if you are having 1 or 2 years of experience also they might ask sometime. Yeah, so this question is very important from the development, ETL development and ETL, testing background also. It is a general data warehousing concept, which I think the interviewer obviously want to understand from you whether you really understand the whole, architecture bit about the data warehousing or not. So that's the reason I think this question I'm trying to cover now. Okay. So the question from Smriti, the question is, what is explain the date ODS and why do we need ODS in data warehouse, right? So guys, it's a good question. Yeah. So let's try to attempt it. Okay. So before that, I will just try to show you the picture where we can see where exactly ODS falls in the data warehouse, right? And then we will see that whether it is a mandatory component or it is something that we can live with it. Why do we need and all? So here is the diagram, guys, ODS that I have taken from internet. I just copied it, right, and I thought this is appropriate one. So guys, if you look at here, right, so if we do not have ODS here, this except ODS, if you see, this is the operational data are operational sources, and then you have the ETL, right? So wherein you have the staging and other things, right? Including target, etc. So here is your data warehouse, which is the target system basically. And then another ETL can be used for the data mart. So these are the reporting data, or you can also call it as the DM or data marts, right? So the data marts are basically coming out of the subject related, right, from the data warehouse itself, right? Alright guys, so this is how it is, right? Now there is a ODS, you see here, the ODS is introduced here. So what is ODS, guys? So if you see, ODS is basically very close to this operational sources, right? So this is the your source system, and this is what you call, this is the target, basically the data warehouse, right? In between there is a ODS system here, right? So this is ODS. ODS stands for operational data store. Okay. Why it is operational? Because this is basically pulling the data from the operational sources, basically, right? Operational sources are the source systems, right? So these are the multiple OLTP source systems, and from where this ODS is directly pulling the data. Okay. So we will talk about what kind of transformation it might have and what cannot. But just to see this picture, right? So if you are able to see this, basically, this is this is actually pulling the data from this source systems, and that is how, yeah. So it can also pass the data that is being pulled through ODS to the data warehouse also, right? So this is optional, guys. Okay, so ODS is not something that the must have system, as per my understanding. The ODS is not something that must have system within the data warehousing solution, right? So ODS is just something that the optional system, or I would say that this is complementary system, right? Mm, and why do we need this, guys? So the thing is, see, why do we need data warehouse first of all, right? So let me just open a notepad and I'll show you, okay? So first of all, data warehouse, right? So why do we need data warehouse? So data warehouse, as we know, that it is used for, historical data reporting and decision making process, etc. So guys, this is used for uh, historical data uh, decision support system, right? Decision strategic decision, I would say, right? Strategic decision processing, correct? Because we want to capture all the historical data. Based on the historical data, the management would like to take certain decision. That is what the whole purpose of the data warehousing, right? But what is the purpose of ODS, guys? As I said, that ODS is not something that it is must have as part of your data warehousing solution. This is something it can be a part of your database solution, okay, data warehousing solution, because this entire system we are anyways building, we can also plug in the ODS here, right? So ODS is basically what it is meant for. It basically provides the current and what you say, immediate, right? Immediate, real time, I would say, right? Real time data, and this is used for operational decisions, taking the operational decisions basically, right? Operational business decision, because it doesn't contain all the historical data, it only contains very current data, right? So what is the challenge, why we cannot pull the data for, if this is the use like current immediate real time data we want to take it, why can't we actually take it from here, right? So if I show you picture, why can't we take it directly from here? So it's not possible to take it from the operational data store, guys. Why? Because see, if you do not have this component ODS, how you will even extract all this data, right? It's not possible, barely impossible, because these data sources are, there are multiple data sources, right? So you have to, anyways, you have to aggregate the data, right? Aggregate the data, and aggregating all this data is nothing but ODS itself, right? So anyways, whatever you want to take the data from here, you have to do this aggregation, and that is being done in ODS, right? So that is the whole purpose of ODS itself, right? So this basically used for operational business decision, and this is having the current data, and the real-time reporting data. All right. So now we will see that what all the things that we have to take care here, right? When we create ODS, right? So first of all, this ODS, yeah, this ODS is basically extracting the data from the operational sources. What about data warehouse? Data warehouse can extract the data from ODS, or it can also extract the data from operational data, yeah, sources basically, are the source systems, right? So warehouse can pick the data either from ODS, if ODS is one of the part of your data warehousing architecture, right? And other thing is the ODS will only include the current data. It will not have the historical data at all, right? And ODS is basically used for the real-time data reporting. Okay, so I'll tell you what are the different benefits of ODS as well, and the real-time example. I'll try to give you some kind of flavor of that example so that you can understand, where do we use the ODS, right? And before that, we will try to run through, what kind of transformation and other things. So guys, if you see that the data warehouse here, right? So this data warehouse, the tables in the data warehousing are basically, um, we normally design the dimensional modeling, right? So when we talk about data modeling, guys, okay. So I'm just trying to correlate with the data warehousing so that that can give you better understanding. Yeah. So that's the reason I'm just trying to compare with data warehousing, right? So first one thing is the dimensional modeling, right? So dimensional modeling, data warehousing is having data warehousing is having dimensional modeling. However, ODS doesn't need to follow dimensional modeling. Okay, doesn't need to follow dimensional modeling, guys. Okay, because we need okay, guys. Second thing is okay, the ODS. So because this will not follow dimensional modeling because it doesn't want to have the whole historical data and lot of transformations and all. Now data warehouse will have the complex transformation, right? Complex transformation. ODS will have no transformation, no transformation to highly complex transformation. Okay, transformation. Okay, so it can either. I mean, there are different kind of ODS that we can do design. Okay, so as per I'll explain you what does it mean, right? So ODS have no transformation to highly complex transformation means basically we have the father of data warehousing, right? His name is Bill Inmon, right? He is the father of the data warehousing. And what he has talked about this ODS is basically, he says that I mean, as per his, understanding, he divided or he has, segregated the whole ODS into five different classes basically. So class one, okay, class one, no transformation, okay, and similarly it will increase, guys, okay. Then he has decided class fifth, this ODS have highly complex data transformation, right? Transformation or integration, correct? All right. So, um, so it can have, class 1 to class 5th. These are different. So as per Bill Inmon, the ODS can be of having no transformation, which means it can have direct data, whatever this data is, right? It can just be integrated and it can be simply dumped in without any transformation, right? To highly transform means there can be lot of transformation here before it is loading. So here, guys, there will be ETL process, right? Here also, which will basically load the data into ODS, right? So it can be having any kind of transformation or no transformation. So this is the major difference here, okay? Now, what we will talk about is basically also he says that, okay, so that the about the transformation, right? So um, so says that the transformation could be, we have to decide whether how fast we need the ODS to be updated, right? So update time in ODS, okay? If we want the ODS to be immediately updated within the seconds as soon as the data is available in the source systems, right here, let's say we want everything to be, so fastly replicated in ODS, fastly updated in the ODS, then what will happen, guys? We have to basically see that if we have to use less and less transformation, right? Because if you are actually performing any kind of transformation here before loading into ODS, that will obviously take a time, right? A bit of time. So there is a requirement wherein, we need the data available in ODS within a fraction of second. In that case, there is no transformation possible, right? Any kind of transformation you do within the ETL, that really needs some time to process it, right? That's the reason there is no transformation needed here. So exactly as soon as the OTL is OLTP is having data, it can, or the source system is having data, it can be updated directly into the ODS. So that kind of scenario, we don't need to have any kind of transformation, right? So it really depends on, how how up to date or how much time do we need, can the business afford to have the ODS updated. Based on that, we have to use the transformation. Also the transformation, how much level, it really depends on, business decision, right? So what kind of ODS they need, do they need any sort of aggregation, etc. So that need to be carefully, analyzed before implementing this ODS, right? So that's a bit about it. Okay. Now I think we have covered a bit about this ODS part, right? Now, guys, this ODS can exist as a separate entity as well, okay? Because this ODS has nothing to do with the overall data warehouse, right? I mean, it can be used as a source system to the our data warehouse, but it does not need also, okay? It can be part of it, and this ODS can have its own staging table. It can have its own, the obviously the target table will be having its own, right? And then it can have its own time of running, scheduling data. It's just that, it's a part of the process, but there could be separate job that will be triggered for the ODS, right? So hope you are able to understand this ODS concept, okay? So this is very important, okay, to understand this concept. But yeah, as I said, that this is not something that must have component in the entire data warehousing. It is just a complementary, okay, if the business need it. Because I will tell you the example, guys, okay. It may not be very appropriate example, but I think you will be able to understand a bit idea about what ODS and what is data warehouse, okay. So data warehouse. So one of the example that I can think is, let's say, guys, I have a bank account, okay? As I'm saying, it may not be the best example, but I'm just trying to, just trying to give you some update here, okay? So let's say I have, for example, I have a bank account and I just, I went to withdraw some amount from the ATM machine, right? I withdraw some amount from there, and then what will happen is when I check my mini statement, right? What I get? I actually get the updated balance, right? So let's say I have balance pre-withdrawal, okay? Pre-withdrawal. I have, let's say, 10,000, 10,000 bucks, and then uh, I withdraw, let's say, 2,000 bucks. When I withdraw 2,000 bucks, the updated balance will be 8,000, right? So what I can do when I actually check my mini statement, right? When I log into my net banking and I just check my mini balance, then I can obviously see this updated balance. The exact balance is 800, right? 8,000, right? Whereas if I need to check all the historical, data, what has happened last 5 months or 6 months, whatever, etc., then I need to actually go for the statement, right? The historical statement. In the historical statement, it will only generate the data up to one day before, right? So normally it is one day before. So let's say today is 24th of January, right? So when I take the historical data from my bank statement, I can only get up to 23rd, right? Because the latest job will not be loading. I mean, that is basically something the data warehousing job, right? So if the ETL job is not completed, then you will not get the data for 24 today because still the day is still going on, right? So it will only run at the end of the day, and then it will always give you one day before data, right? So data warehousing. So this is nothing but the data that we can get from the historical data warehouse at the data warehousing, right? However, when I want to check what is the current balance, right? Here I will not get the current balance, but here I'll get the current balance because it will only update it as soon as I withdraw some money. It will immediately update in the ODS, right? So, for example, the data that is being available here, it I'm assuming that it is from the ODS, right? In that case, it is immediately available. But this mini balance, I can see 8,000, but I cannot see what was the balance yesterday, guys, right? I cannot really see that because it's not available here, right? So that is the reason, yeah. So it will only contain the current data. It will not contain the historical data. Similar to OLTP, right? So OLTP will have always the updated data, current data, business data, right? So the similar thing will also be available in the ODS, right? So I'm just taking this example. This is not the very correct example, guys, but yeah, you hope you understand, right? But here if I see, so what is that? Let's say 24th, 24th Jan, right? So today is 8,000. Okay. I cannot see here. I cannot see here what are the balance, right? I do not have this information in my mini statement, right? Whereas if I go here, I can always see that what was there on 21, what was there on 21. Similarly, I can get any data or anything. I mean, based on my time period. Let's say I want to fetch the data for 6 months, right? 6 months, I can get day wise what was the balance basically on that particular day, right? I can get it, but here I cannot get. It will always have the most recent or updated information here, right? So hopefully I am able to help you understand this example, guys. Okay, but yeah, I think this is what you can explain it, and I'm sure that you got the fair understanding around it. And I'll continue to take up some more, the comment sections questions, and then we'll come up with the video, guys. Okay, so bear with me. I think uh, I'll see that there are a lot many things to cover yet. Okay, but we'll see that how I can do it. But definitely, I just want to continue this session so that I can cover more and more things for you. And I hope that you all are making good progress in your learning. And it's also very important to learn, okay? And also do share your success story if you are getting progression in your job, or if you are getting a new job. It really gives me lot of boost, and lot of encouragement also, that the whole purpose of this channel is to help the people who really need it, right? So that's the reason, I hope that you are able to understand what is ODS, and I hope that next interview we should be able to answer this. Okay, that's all for this video, and I'll see you soon with the next video, guys. Until then, happy learning. God bless you. Bye.